The patient app really is at the heart of what makes Symplast so special. Everything in our ecosystem, every module, it's all leading to the patient app, and then everything built into the patient app leads back into the different facets of the Symplast ecosystem for the practice. So the Symplast patient app allows the practice to have a HIPAA-secure, encrypted, two-way interaction and engagement with their patients real time. You have instant access to all of your different patients, and vice versa. The patients have that HIPAA-secure access with the practice, and of course the practice can control those parameters. So you're able to share HIPAA-secure text messages, videos, images, documents, invoices, proposals. You can even send marketing promotions directly to the patient app. And because, just like everything else in Symplast, the patient app is a true native app, mobile first, the patient gets a push notification every single time you send a new promotion, every single time you share a video, etc., etc. So the advantages of our true native app versus a traditional web portal are, number one, you have their undivided attention with the push notifications. Number two, you eliminate the need for remembering logins or trying to remember how to get into the web portal, because with the mobile devices, they can just use their device Touch ID or Face ID to log right in. You can also forget about worrying if the message you sent to a patient via the web portal gets lost in their inbox, in the email or not. And just best of all, it's more effective. Every single person in society now, their smartphone is at the heart of their daily routine. So you are able to have that controlled interaction from anywhere in the world. So let's take a look at how to actually download the patient app. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go on your iPhone or your iPad and open up the App Store. And when you come to the App Store, go to the search icon on the bottom and type in the word Symplast, Symplast, and you're going to see a couple results pop up. Click on the Symplast patient. You're the patient, so you want the patient app. So when you click Symplast patient, you're going to see the Symplast patient app show up. There will be a little cloud icon with the download arrow on it. Just tap on that and you'll be able to download the Symplast patient app directly onto your mobile device. This is a completely free app. You do not have to pay anything. The one thing you have to keep in mind is you must be created in the practice's Symplast software. That means that someone at the practice has to have created you in their system in order for you to successfully register. So let's assume that you're already in the system. You've clicked the download icon right there for the cloud, and you'll have a Symplast icon with a little white background, just like you see on the bottom right of my screen. When you open it, there's a couple steps that you want to follow to complete the very easy registration. So first, yes, you want those notifications. That's going to alert you anytime the practice shares a text message, a video, a file, etc. So you definitely want to allow that. So here you just need to start typing the name of the practice, right? So if my practice is Sunrise, I would start typing the name Sunrise. If my practice was Surya, I would start typing the name Surya. For this example, I'm just going to use a testing environment, demo 1, just to showcase how to go through everything. So once you've typed in the practice name, you see that green check mark and you're clicking that button, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come to a screen where you can register. Now, if for any reason you're downloading this app and you've already registered and you have a login, just click the already registered login here button and it will take you directly to the login screen. And you can put in your username, which is your mobile phone number on file, and the password you created. Assuming you have not registered yet, you're brand new, very easy. Just fill out these 4 fields. So you're going to fill out your first name, you're going to fill out your last name, your date of birth, and your gender. Now remember, the data that is being used to verify whether you're a patient or not is whatever was entered in the system. So just make sure you're entering the information that you gave to the practice. Once you enter that information, you're going to get a text message immediately. It's going to give you a verification code. It's a 6-digit verification code, 392398. This code is good for 10 minutes. So just go back to your Symplast patient app, 392-398, enter that code, 392-398. If for any reason you get the code, but then it's more than 10 minutes before you're able to put it in, you just go back to the screen and request the password again by filling out those 4 fields. It'll give you a new code. If for any reason you get an error message when you're going through this process saying that you must contact the practice, that means that there's some sort of duplication of information in the practice's Symplast software that they use to run their facility. So just to be safe, just to make sure that we're protecting your identity, we want you to contact the practice so that they can get it corrected and straightened out. I put in the verification code, everything's looking good. Let me create my password. So I have to follow these requirements here in red. And as I meet each requirement, it's going to now change to the green color. So you can see I've typed in a password that meets all the requirements, and then let me just go ahead and put it in again. When I'm done, log in. When I log in, I'll be taken to a screen where I need to accept the legal terms. So just review that and then hit agree. You're going to get a prompt. Would you like to log in using Touch ID next time? Yes, if you have Touch ID or Face ID. If you have Face ID and it says Touch ID, it's fine. Just hit Use Touch ID. If for any reason you don't have Touch ID already enabled on your iPhone or iPad, but you want to, we have another video that you can request that will show you step-by-step how to turn it on. So I'm in the homepage of the patient app right now. Again, this is how I can begin interacting with my practice right away. I can come into the Conversations tab and I can look at HIPAA secure text messages that have been sent to me, or I can send one to the practice. It can have more than one recipient, so I'm able to contact the practice coordinator, the provider, etc. And again, just like a normal text message, whenever I send or I receive a HIPAA secure text, I get a notification on my screen. A patient is able to come here and I can look and see any of the educational videos that the practice has shared with me. I can come through and look at the different documentation. So if I tap on the word labs here, I'm able to look at every single folder that the practice is sharing information with me. So for instance, if they have some consent forms or anything like that that they want to share with me, I'm able to access them here in the form section. If I did my digital intake ahead of time, I can come through and I can look at that PDF summary of all of my required paperwork that I filled out before I arrived. I can come to the multimedia section. This is how, as a patient, not only can I view any multimedia files that have been shared with me, but I can also upload them on my own. I can even filter them by different appointment types, things like that. I can come through to the Invoices section. I can look at any sort of retail product invoices or proposals that have been shared with me from the practice. And there's a promotions box here. This is any type of exclusive offers that the practice wants to send you as a patient directly to your patient app. You can come through and this is where you're able to access them. The practice can give you exclusive discounts, promotions, etc. They'll send you a video or an image. So again, everything right here in the palm of your hand in your smartphone. So let's take a look at how a practice can share information and files to the patient app. So I'm going to open up my Symplast practice app here with the gray background. And when I come to the home screen, let's just go ahead and jump right into a specific patient. So I'm going to go to my patient search and I'm going to look for Jane right here. So I can share all these different files that you see here in the clinical chart. So I can come through and I can come to the document manager, clicking on this documents tab. Every single file in any of these folders, I have the ability to share or unshare to the patient app in real time. So for instance, if I look at this x-ray right here, I hold my thumb over the thumbnail in the top, not the main image, but the little thumbnail up here. I hold my thumb over it for about 2 seconds and I'm presented with these options. I can go ahead and share it to the patient app by hitting share. And then I just check that box and I hit done. Now, this is shared to the patient's patient app. You can see the patient already got a push notification, and if the patient taps on that push notification, they're taken right into the folder that they had a file shared to. So let me go back to the practice app. Let's say you want to unshare something real time. So again, do the same thing. Hold your thumb over it, and now you hit remote wipe. That's the equivalent of saying, I want to unshare this from the patient app. So when you hit remote wipe, tap your finger on the name of the person you want to unshare it with. So you have to make sure you tap the patient's name so you see that blue check mark. Then tap remote wipe. So now the file is still in the practices chart. You're not deleting it. But if I go back to that patient app for Jane Smith, I'm going to open up this patient app. When I come into this folder for Jane, that radiology file is no longer there. Real-time control over the files. You'll also notice that when you're in the document manager or any of the other screens and you're uploading a file, you have the ability to share it with the patient app right then and there. And of course, as I showed you, you can unshare it real time if you wanted to. So that's how you're able to share different files from the document manager. You may have noticed that you can share cosmetic quotes and invoices to the patient app. You can do that from this mobile device as well. Same exact way I showed you, just go to the folder within the document manager. So the cosmetic quotes for any invoices or proposals made through the cosmetic quote module, and the product sold is when it was made strictly through the inventory module. So let's look at how you can share multimedia files. So I can come through into the patient's multimedia manager. Again, this is the brand new multimedia manager that we just released recently. So if I want to, I can just tap on a single file, and then there's a share little button on the bottom, and it'll tell me it was shared. And once I've shared something, you'll see these files that have the white silhouette of a person's head. That means that right now, at this moment, it is shared to that patient's app. They have full visibility in their patient app. If you wanted to unshare, just tap on the file, and now you'll see it says unshare because it's being shared currently. Tap it again, the white silhouette goes away. Let's say you wanted to share a number of files all at once. In the Multimedia Manager, hit select in the top right, and then go ahead and select any of the files that you want to share or unshare to the patient app. So you can come through, once you select them, you'll see the options. You can bulk share, bulk unshare, however you want to do it, and that action will then be applied to everything you selected. In the new EHR section, you may have noticed that you also have the ability to share multimedia directly from the Encounter Notes module. So if I come through here and I have a media file, let's say I'm going to upload something from my gallery. All I have to do, just like when I was in the Multimedia Manager, is tap on the image and hit Share with Patient. So now, if I had made a before-after comparison from my EHR note and I wanted to share it very conveniently while I'm in the note, I can do that, again, same way as in the Multimedia Manager. The last thing I want to show you is just sending the HIPAA secure text messages. So you can start a new conversation when you're in the HIPAA secure conversations module by hitting that little pencil in a square. And then you're going to have the option by default to start typing in a patient's name. When you type in a patient's name, you'll see that it's auto filtering. You can pick multiple patients if you want, although it probably won't be as common as picking multiple practice recipients. But remember, this is not just a one-to-one action. You can pick patients, and then you can add members of the practice. So I can come through and I can have a thread here, and I can even, once I have a group thread, I can name it if I wanted to. So maybe this is going to be named Jane Smith Pre-Op, right? So now I can come through and I can send a message via text. I can upload a video or an image from the device's gallery. I can even upload from the patient's multimedia manager as well. I can take a picture or I can take a video. And then when I send it to the patient, they're going to get a notification real time. So let's just say I'm sending this message. So again, the advantage of a true native app, the patient will get that push notification real time because they have the native app installed on their device. You can see how I have a group conversation going again. Everything is HIPAA secure. It's encrypted.
Audio Jungle.